Huge update out of the Twab this week. New there's going to be a patch to the game 2.2.1 coming next week.
Big deal.
Man, there's a lot of changes here. A lot of changes to subclasses. Do we want to go through them all? Do we want to pick our favorites?
I say we go through some, and then just if anybody wants to bring stuff up on it, I think we need to talk about like the main stuff that's in the Twab.
You want to lead the way, Pope?
Not really. You're really good at that.
Fryer, you got this, man. You weren't here last week, so you got to pick it up, man. You got to pick up the slack.
All right. We're gonna start off with the Striker Code of the Juggernaut, which is the bottom path for the.
This sounds exciting.
Frontal Assault is getting some changes. They're going to increase all weapon damage for the duration of the buff, 25% against combatants, 20% against players. Duration increases from 10 to 16 seconds. Buff timer is now displayed in the HUD.
So that's here, let me the flavor text here is important. The notes. You skipped over it, but this path is all about punching enemies to get better at shooting them.
I do want to recognize that this Twab is about 15 pages long.
It's very long.
You're going to read every page.
We're talking about a striker here. We're talking about a Titan. We're talking about the Titan class. We can save time when we're talking about the Warlocks. So
rude.
No offense.
The big thing is that the buffs there are some crazy adjustments here. So the frontal assault and being able to damage players and then have it go up against a 20% buff if you go in there and you get the melee kill. Here, I'll bring it up, but it's called that whole class, that whole bottom class is all about getting in there, mixing it up, and having your gun ready and buffed when you're done punching stuff. So it's close quarters combat. It is ultimately what I've always said Titans needed to be. All about being up front and center and then getting buffs to keep them there.
Do you know what it sounds a lot like? Go ahead.
I was just going to say how dirty that buff is. Like, I don't think people fully understand yet. There's going to be a lot of Titans flying around next week because you get the shoulder charge, you get the kill.
Well, shoulder charge is top. Isn't shoulder charge top tree?
Is it okay? So you get the melee kill, and you get you get a buff to all your weapons for 16 seconds. Okay,
that's
16 seconds, and you get 20% for PvP.
20% damage in PvP.
That is a rampage stack level 2. The rampage
in
is
the duration
in PvP. It's a free rampage level 2 for 16 seconds.
Wow.
But the best part about it is this knockout piece. Melee damage bonus increases from 25 to 60%. So once you trigger knockout, your next melees are you just keep going, man. If you can keep hitting shit, you keep killing stuff with your fists. And now also triggers once you've dealt 60% damage to a target.
It's not consumed after one melee attack anymore.
Right.
Either. So you just keep doing it.
You just keep punching stuff, man. Oh, man.
That's nutty.
You don't even have to kill things. You don't have to kill it. It reminds me of what they did to Warlocks. So 60%, right? So, or shield pop. But do you know how Warlocks had that melee that when they hit somebody, they would immediately get an overshield? I was like, what the hell? Titans have to kill something to get that.
That was D1 Sunsinger.
Yeah, D1 Sunsinger. They just had to just like swipe you with their dress, and then they had an overshield.
I used it for tickle. It was awesome for that.
They just had to just tickle you, and then go, and they're like, "Oh, I've got an overshield," and you're like,
"You're hating on that."
Why does your Warlock sound like Michael Jackson?
I'm not gonna wait a second.
It's a clone.
Time out.
It's not a dress.
I'm not gonna stand here
typing
and listen to you naysay the Warlock Destiny 1 Fire Shield, which was not a big deal, nearly compared to where Shoulder Charge was at for so long. Which I was on a tirade for so long, being like, "Please." This dude, 90-degree shoulder charge out of midair, and the Titans are like, "It's not a problem." And you're gonna complain about fire shield.
Fran, if you're wearing a dress and you're caught slipping, you should be knocked the hell out with a shoulder charge. That's just the way it is.
Mr. Daddy Titan over here. All right,
I'm just saying.
Press 1 in the
chat right now.
Press 1 in the Twitch chat if you're a warlock and you resent Pope's smug, rude attitude.
Yeah,
I'm a hunter now, primarily. Warlock at heart, hunter.
Press 1 in the chat. Press 1 in the chat if Ikoro Ray would destroy, slap him around.
The fact is that being a Titan, you should. I feel like the classes are actually expressing what they should be. You know, with knockout, Code of the Juggernaut, critically wounding an enemy or breaking their shield increases your melee range and damage. Yes, you should. You're a Titan. Thank you. Yeah.
But look,
leave the fluffing to somebody else.
Class arguments aside, if you do play Titan primarily, how do you feel about this? Like, is it going to be OP? Is it needed? You know,
this is going to be crazy powerful.
You know what I see is like brawler arc week, or arc brawler. You go with 21% delirium. Can you imagine? Like you run up, slap one, and then get ×3 tally with the delirium. Oh my god. That's gonna shred. Actually, I guess
you're actually gonna have range with knockout, where you're actually gonna not be sitting there with your T-Rex arms. You're actually gonna be able to hit stuff. Oh my god!
I think.
Wait, did they say that?
I'm happy for Titans.
Wait, did they say there was some change to that?
Yeah,
range?
They're buffing the range.
Oh, I didn't catch that. Buddy.
So with it, you get increased range and damage. And it doesn't, and it's so you're not going to have to waste an exotic slot just to get a decent melee.
Shout out to Bungie, by the way. Look at the Twab. Look how many numbers are in the Twab. They're not like, it makes you a little stronger for a little while. How much longer? You figure it out. That's like,
that's your job, Fallout.
20%. Yeah, they're putting me out of a job. No, but I appreciate it.
With knockout going from 3 to 5 seconds, I don't think people understand. Like, I'm with you, Fallout. Looking at these numbers and playing Titan religiously, this is going to be crazy powerful, and you're actually going to be able to mix stuff up in PvP and not get slapped around by hunters and warlocks in PvP up close, which it should be. Thank you.
Booyah.
Okay. I'll be quiet.
Archstrider, Way of the Warrior, top path is getting some changes. We're going to read the notes for this one. This path thrives on striking with precision and timing and is heavily melee focused. To enhance this loop, we are giving it a bit more nuance with higher potential payout. We want to allow for more room to execute and engage with both the path to success and the benefits once you do succeed. So, two things change in Combination Blow and Deadly Reach. Combination Blow is getting bonus damage that can now be stacked 3 times. The buff increases melee damage by 60% in PvE and 22.7% in PvP. For comparison, this ability used to be 1 stack and increase melee damage by 50%. Kills with this ability now heal 40 health in addition to starting health regen.
That's cool.
Pretty cool, yeah.
Anything with health regen, I get pretty excited by.
Yeah, me too.
My favorite, this is my favorite class type actually in Destiny 2, because using Raiden Flux and just going around as an Archstrider is so much fun. It's actually one of the reasons that got me to switch. I actually was a Titan at the beginning of Destiny 2 because I'd never
shoulder pads.
Yeah, but well, it was the shoulder charges. I had to come around. I said, forget it. If you can't beat him, join him. But Destiny 1, I never made a Titan. I had 3 Warlocks to start. Wow. And I eventually moved on to have 2 Locks and a Hunter.
3 Warlocks? Pope, how triggered are you? Scale of 1 to 10.
3 Warlocks, man.
D1. I always knew Fran was like looking at the world just a little different than everybody else.
FM3 Warlocks.
Let me guess. Self-res all the time.
No. I mixed it up all the time. But self-res, yeah,
FM3 more like FML, am I right?
Dude, yeah, whatever. Pretty good. Stormcaller was so much fun when they introduced it in Destiny 1. So great for both PvE and PvP. Anyway, Archstrider's awesome. I don't know if you played as much, Tef, because I know you're a hunter.
Yeah,
like looking through here, it just looked like it already is pretty powerful. I mean, the bottom path, which we'll talk about in a second, sounds pretty interesting to me. But at the very least, that's what the one that stuck out to me was kills with this ability now heal 40 health in addition to starting health regen, which can be pretty handy.
That's the key. That's the key aspect. Go ahead.
You know what I like about that is that in D2, historically, we've run into problems when tied to anything related to health regeneration. Remember back when Phoenix Dive for the Warlock on PC regened a buttload of health. We're like, whoa, just like the Warlock turns around the corner, they like do whatever they do. They do a little ballerina. They do a ballerina move. They do a curtsy. I think feet off the ground, and they get all their health back. They're back in the fight. And after that, we had that stupid, ugly hunter mask, which I like blotted from my brain. What was that even called? The
worm husk.
Thank you.
Worm husk.
Oh yeah, crown.
Yeah, and then every 2 seconds the hunter just does a roly poly, and then full health back in the game. You want to be really careful with how you provide health regeneration to the player, and then it turned into one-eyed mask, which like you're not playing any differently. You're just going to be shooting people. You know what I mean? You're not. You have to be able to tie the health regen to like a risky play or something. And I think it works here because you have to get in there. You have to get the perk to activate. It's a big risk, you know? I think it could be well done.
That it's not, that you immediately get rewarded for that risky play. Get your 40% health, and then your health gen immediately starts to begin to regen. So it's not giving you full health, and it's giving you an opportunity. You get shot or damaged during that time, it stops your health regen, and you're dealing with 40% health. And it really asks you to go back and get that kills, get in there, mix it up, and continue your style of play, which is an aggressive, forward-fronting, high maneuverable play. You're getting rewarded because you're up and you're bouncing around, you're moving around, you're very mobile, and you're damaging. You're getting in there, mixing it up, but there's a high risk to it because you're going to be faced with a Titan that now can melee people.
Yeah.
Arcstrider Way of the Wind, which is the bottom path, gets disorienting blow, increase the disorient distance by 50%, and increase the duration of disorient on players from 1.5 to 2 seconds.
It's going to be huge.
Focus breathing, increase dodge recharge bonus while sprinting by 100%. Combat meditation, increase bonus grenade and melee regeneration while bloodied by 25%. And lightning reflexes, increase damage resistance while dodging from 25 to 40% in PvP and 63 to 70% in PvE.
Yeah, I mean, reading through this, it's like a lot of this is just a buff, so it's not like they're introducing anything crazy, but certainly some big, number changes. I
don't know, Fran. That disorienting blow, is legit effective. And for them
in PvP, you mean?
Yeah. And that to increase it, the distance by 50%. I mean, it's. I feel like that right there, that disorienting blow piece, is gonna be huge. And 2 seconds in PvP is a lifetime. It's like a long time.
And I agree, but I'd be curious, and I know they're so data driven, which I think you got to be very careful with, because sometimes the data just becomes like a dishwater average, right? But I personally don't use this one a lot in PvP. I mean, I never think about like going up and stabbing someone and disorienting them as a perk. I'd struggle for hunters out there to be, oh yeah, I use it all the time. And when I read through this, that's what I'm seeing is like a lot of these are like people I don't think are using a lot of perks all that much. Obviously, unless you're using something that you're in the middle of a super. I mean, I'm not a top tier PvP player, for example, but same for PvE stuff like lightning reflexes, for example, right? You're harder to kill while dodging is really so. Now they're increasing that damage resistance just up, and to do that 63 to actually it's only up 7%, I guess. So it's not like a huge change on that one, but just like PvE, little touches.
PvP, it got a bigger.
PvP, almost, not quite double.
Can we just stop for a moment and just acknowledge that we are getting something extremely important from Bungie right now. They are separating PvP and PvE adjustments.
That's a great point.
That is very good.
That's a very good point.
Yep.
I am completely in agreement with what they're doing right now. They are legitimately balancing them independently, and I think it's not going to break the game for them to do that.
No,
I really feel like making PvE, we've been saying it on this podcast for years, making PvE and PvP different approaches to how they balance.
Yeah, but see, it's not across everything, though. But you're right. You're seeing a little bit of here and there. It's a step in the right direction. What I thought about was when I interviewed Noseworthy and Luke on stage, at the reveal, and infamously a long time ago with Destiny 2. But that was the first time I heard them talk about split tuning, and I was like, oh, sweet, they're gonna do it. And then, like, to your point, I was like, wait, we don't see it that much.
It took a long time.
It's like some of the weapons have some split tuning and stuff, but this is not sort of a global feel.
But they did away with that thing, that mechanic, Fran, that was really, I thought that we were going to see more of when I heard that announcement, that, effective against minions of the darkness, right? They did away with that. And that was like how I thought they were going to make guns differentiate in PvE versus PvP. But to your point, I see them focusing on some of the things that Fallout is talking about: health regeneration, damage resistance, shielding, all that stuff, all revolving around health is where they're separating it. And I think that they're focusing that, it looks like, as the differentiation between PvP and PvE.
Yeah, but these are big enough changes. We saw that for sure with the Titan, but big enough that I think we should be both excited and worried. Like it could, like, meaning, for example, you think of Shinobu's Vow, 2 skip nades already, and then they're going to bring up that when you're hurt, if I'm getting this right, you're going to have bonus grenade. Is that damage or charge? Increased bonus grenade and melee. No, regen. Yeah. So it's going to increase by 25%. I mean, you already have people spamming a couple skip nades, for example. Then you put this on. Now it's another 25% on top of it. Is that going to be annoying or not? I don't know. It's always hard to say until you get out there. I think it's the end, called the tail end of these seasons. We're moving towards something new probably in September in terms of a bigger step. So, like, I don't mind the experimentation right now personally. I don't play it every day.
Anything to change up the meta and keep us and try to give us more variety.
Yeah, but the only caveat I do want to add, which is I know they've screwed stuff up and people feel like they don't address it fast enough. So I understand that, and I am in agreement.
Definitely, that's a big issue. But do you really think a lot of this things are going to be changed heavily come September for a new season pass?
I am speculating that at least we're leading into like.
Fingers are crossed.
Sorry, somebody left me a note that my mic was cutting it. Not, is it for you guys?
Yeah, a little bit from Discord.
It is a little bit.
Yeah,
it's rare.
Really? Okay,
yeah. Don't worry.
Strange.
I don't know why it's doing it.
It's not you. It's Discord.
It's probably Discord, yeah.
I hope that it is. I just had to. Mic broke, so I'm terrified.
Just did right.
Let me know. I know. I literally got triggered when I saw that. I don't know.
No, you were
Sorry,
like, I just had to.
Oh,
yeah, we couldn't hear what you had to do.
Please, no.
Relax.
Let me know if there's a problem. What were you just saying? What was the question? I'm totally
well,
triggered.
I was saying,
are they going to change it?
Yeah, you were speculating that there's going to be some big change come September and actual shifts and like they're getting us ready for something. I don't know. I
wouldn't say big, but I was just going to say I feel like we do need a brand new season of something. I feel like then Forsaken for quote unquote 2 years is the way I'm thinking about it. I think we'll get this year of getting through, season opulence. And then they'll reintroduce some bigger sort of meta changes along with seasonal pass stuff. And that's all I was thinking about. I mean, I don't think it's going to be super drastic, but they got to do something. Don't you think? Do you really think it's just going to be more of this for another 12 months?
Maybe.
Wow.
I mean, historically and how they've treated it so far, I wouldn't be surprised if like their main focus and the things that they're actually developing and putting serious effort on are D3.
Yeah. Well, it is true. I guess I was just thinking maybe the sandbox would get significant changes then versus right now.
It's like the discussion that went on with PvP and how suddenly people were like, oh my God, is PvP actually getting cut from the game because they're not talking about it? And people have left that have been developing, working on PvP stuff, and then they actually had to come out and make a statement. Deej had to say on a stream that PvP isn't going anywhere. The Crucible isn't going anywhere. But like, they're not, it seems, reading between the lines, is that they're not doing anything big for PvP or the sandbox.
It's not prioritized.
Yeah, it's the sandbox, PvP, and big changes like that aren't really coming for D2 anymore. Doesn't feel like they're doing adjustments like this, which is good.
Yeah,
but major sweeping changes, I don't think.
I didn't say major sweeping change, but I feel. Yeah, maybe I said it in a way that I didn't mean to think that it'd be very huge, but I would expect it to be more than these monthly updates. But yeah, maybe I'm setting my personal expectation too high. But maybe we're also all at the bottom, apparently. We just think nothing's going to happen break in September. Like, what happened, guys? Who are like? It's interesting because we're not. It goes back to the earlier part of the discussion of we set expectations kind of high, and I think we're now to the point to accept, like, well, we know we're not getting Forsaken or Destiny 3, so it'll be more of this. But we almost it sounds like everybody's expecting another, season of Gambit Prime and some PvP stuff, and like I don't know. I feel like they've got to do something to set the course for the year at least.
Do you think they could do like a season of PvP, or do you think the community would react poorly to it?
I can answer yes to both of those questions.
Yes, they will. And
I would react poorly.
A poor reaction from the community, huh?
That's pretty much, you can guarantee that. Yeah.
I mean, in a way, this is the season of Gambit right now. And how has the reaction been to that? Of it being mostly focused on Gambit. How would you guys say Season of the Drifter has been received so far?
Started off well, and because it's always new sunshine and happiness when we have new things to do. And I think the people who really enjoy Gambit are very much enjoying it. And for the people who don't enjoy Gambit, it was a miss, or they have probably slowly, drifted away from the activity.
Drifted.
Drifted.
Yeah, I agree. I think, but I'm not surprised. And when I was talking to people about when it was coming out, I'm like, guys, like 2 weeks, couple weeks, that's probably what you'll consume, and then you walk away. And it doesn't surprise me, but I do feel like that's sort of what happened for a lot of people. I have a personal gripe about, and I know there was even like some Engram power drop bugs and stuff related to it, but just the grind, the barrier to entry to do anything in this season, I personally thought was way too high for the amount of content. And my worry, and it feels like that's where we are now. I said this many weeks ago now, but I was like, by the time I get past, I'm not even 680 yet. And by the time I finish that, get my set, get into Gambit Prime, like, I don't even know how many people are playing Gambit Prime anymore. Want to. And the challenge is I know you can matchmake, but like, I feel like it's died down so much by the time that I got there. I'm not saying to remove the grind bot, because I think it's great that we need that. My proposed solution was, it would have been nice to almost get access to all those classes right away, couple perks somehow, if you think of class loadouts, but then you grind out some top tier stuff. But that's
I mean, they did do that, right? So by the different tiers, people
but you got to earn all the armor first.
No, you don't. Like it was relatively quick when you bet your moat. You would get an armor piece, and you, within reason, I mean, within a relative amount of time, if you were playing it, you got a tier 1 armor set. And then people were bitching that hey, but I'm going to end up deleting this anyway when I get a tier 3 set. And the tier 1 set was to give people access to some of the perks right away, to change up the gameplay, to be able to address it, to give people a taste, and then have people go into the tier 3 set. And now that I'm playing it, I really personally am enjoying Gambit Prime. I like it. If you're with a coordinated team, it's a freaking blast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're privileged. You have a lot of access.
I play a lot of random game modes or a lot of random match-made games, and not all of them are great. Blueberries can, take like years off of my life, and I can get frustrated with it. But since it's one like level, it's not like multiple things it's much shorter, it's not as miserable, and it's also not as complicated, and people can apply themselves and go at it. I feel like Gambit Prime for me, and chasing the tier 3 sets, has been a great opportunity to build loadouts. And God, man, it's fun. It's fun to get the right loadouts for the different invader and sentry, and to get a coordinated team that has all 3, there are 15 on it. And that's what I
want. I'm just like, how play 25 hours just to get that, or 40 or whatever.
I'm okay with what it took me to get there. It would have been nice if my contributions week 1 to the Reckoning could, because again, it was kind of a little, I'm glad that they gave everybody a taste. They kind of warmed everybody up, put your toe in the water, get a feel for the temperature. But it did sort of feel like, well, why bother? Because just wait till week 3 and then you can, do it then. But I wish there was more to the end game of Gambit Prime.
Yeah.
Huh.
Does that make sense? Because there's no rank. Like you have your own individual rank, but does that really mean anything? Like there's nothing. You just have you have the weapons, which aren't tremendously hard to get. You have the armor. The armor is the real kind of grind. But once you have, because like I have a full set of armor, and now I'm just like, okay, now what? Like, I want to go in and fight other teams at my rank. Maybe get another title. Rank up. So, I don't know. I feel like I need more at the end.
What's really interesting is that, you know, I would have loved to have seen something like what they just announced today with some stuff with Get Wrecked. You know, they're running out some tournaments in the UK. It would have been great to see Gambit Prime in this deal, this expansion piece, connected with a series of tournaments or places that people could connect to, and a rank system as the final kind of end game or connection piece that you're talking about, Fallout. It's the community creating something, although Bungie is definitely coming in as a partner to them. It's really cool to see these events coming out. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit later because I want to definitely plug it and spend some time on it. But they're doing a really cool tournament for Gambit Prime in the UK, and there may be an opportunity for us to bring it here, depending on how successful it is. But that paired up with a ranking system and a Bungie supported ladder in Gambit Prime, is that what you're talking about?
I mean, yeah, I just want more end game like goals to chase after. Like, because I think the titles are a really fantastic addition to Destiny, not to like to sidetrack, but every game of Gambit Prime that I have right now is just me and my friends going in and pub stomping. Like, that's what it is every time.
Yeah.
And like
all you're chasing is a win, right?
Yes, which is fun, but like
it's shallow, sure. Yeah,
it's shallow, you know, because I have all the guns, I have all the gear, I have the Dredgen title. Like, I hate when people do this, but I do it all the time. Make the comparison to Halo. You know what I mean? Anybody play Halo? Like, remember PvP in Halo?
Never played it.
They were chasing. People went into PvP because you wanted the rank up. You know what I mean? There was like that rank from 1 to 50. And you get from 40 and above. And like Halo 2, like you started to get like a Halo ring as your level. You know what I'm talking about?
Don't you feel like we've been asking for that system in Destiny since like
we've been asking for that?
Like,
for
I was a little
really
surprised it wasn't
time,
in vanilla Destiny. Like, wait, it's not in here?
We talked about it
What
last
the Halo
week.
guys?
We said last week how that's what comp needs is like a whole set of cosmetics associated with the climb to 5500. And that's one of the reasons why it becomes such a wasteland after 2100, because like the goal of climbing in that playlist
get your gun.
Just doesn't really exist.
Yeah,
it's to get your gun. Comp
that would have been
no one plays comp after getting their gun.
Right. So Gambit Prime doesn't have those carrots anymore. It's just, are you getting a win or not?
That's interesting.
Yeah, it would have been cool to have a basic. You're right, like leaderboard, a basic called prestige system, and you're on prestige 4 now because your team's amazing.
Yes, thank you.
Stuff like that.
Things to chase like that, and like.
It's just prestige, but like it's just a number. Yeah,
it's a great. Yeah, Bungie
great way to do it.
Such a great opportunity to give us all, because you know, titles they could add like 50 more. You know, you could get a certain weapon skin or a certain special like combination.
Or by
armor
class.
piece,
What if you've mastered Sentry? You're a Sentry master.
There you go. You could get
Remember
special
what Call of Duty
emblems
used
for
to do?
prestiging. Yes, exactly.
What Call of Duty used to do, like back before they started selling all the weapon skins, that you used to earn them. Right? It's like if you got 500 kills with a weapon, you'd get like a weapon skin. And like if you got 1,000 kills, then you get like a better weapon skin, and like so on and so forth, until like you had to get like crazy amounts of kills, like 50,000 kills with a weapon, you'd get like that, you know, like gold weapon or something like that.
Yeah, that's exact. I've wanted stuff like that for a long time too.
Same.
And I saw what Apex did with I forget which the points are, but that's that really interesting system. It's not 1-to-1, but you could buy an item from the store for a skin, right? But then if you play a ton, you can buy this other version of it with those points, the crafting points or whatever, and stuff like that goes so far. You're like, oh, just imagine having a shader. You're like, that dude like played so much Gambit Prime. Look at that shader they got. man.
That's a
People
nice
will
way to
grind.
modify that system, because what they've done is they've just moved that system into microtransactions. But from what you're saying is like you can still do it in microtransactions, but even if you buy that skin, you can upgrade it if you perform well. And that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That's real cool.
I've always
People
wanted stuff
will
like
grind
that.
for dumb carrots.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I
You
prefer
will.
to have a great golden carrot because it's awesome to have a really worthwhile carrot to go after. But if
Yeah.
you give people dumb carrots, they are still going to
Well, they've
grind.
done that a little bit with some of the player cards or some of the things you can get, titles
Yes.
you can
Yeah,
get from
triumphs and all
completing
that.
triumphs.
And it's I
Yeah.
applaud their efforts for doing that. It's fantastic. They
And-
need to do like a whole lot more.
Yeah.
Like how
I
many
agree.
people ran raids over and over again just to get like a shader, or ship, or
Yes.
you know, just a simple
Glittering tea.
token. And moving that stuff into Eververse was such a downer because like now you can't that stuff's not earnable anymore. You just buy it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was
Such a
similar
bummer.
to getting way back to when you just get Nightfall done, so you could walk around, the ring over your head or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
We just need a lot more of that, but prestige level stuff. Because I agree, the title's something, but even then, it's not like when don't you have to inspect people, or do you see it in the tower?
No, you
Trying to
see it in the
remember.
tower, but
No, you do. So
The
that's
titles,
good.
yeah.
the
Good
problem with
stat.
the title though is just it's such a large landscape to cross to get one of those goals. Whereas like it'd be awesome if you saw somebody with some crazy vortex gold skin that was doing some animation. You're like, well, you can only get it if you get 50,000 kills with that gun. And it's like,
Yeah.
wow. I mean, that's effort. Like that stuff, along with other types of cosmetics that you get from actually doing the activities. So then you show them off like that. Those are
Yeah,
those
Call
are
of
interesting
Duty's been
carrots.
doing that forever.
My vanity
Stop
moment.
doing it.
Yeah, my vanity moment in Destiny 1, actually, one of the many, because tower casuals are it's a big thing that I do. Is I had in the tower, I just have my very special tower casuals I would wear, but you didn't have to earn those. You had to save your Born Spark Warlock gear or whatever. But anyway, I was gonna say the hard mode shader that you got from Wrath of the Machine was so cool. It was like this red
It was
glowy,
Mhm.
so cool. And I remember because it was hard to get all the armor set too. And I remember when I got it because, by the way, I had I think 3 Warlocks at the time, or at least the 2. So my chances were way up, and I got to walk around like that for a few weeks. And so the next version of that, well, first of all, we just need that again more frequently. But the next version is if you're somebody like Fallout here and you're like, dude, I've played so much Prime and I played so much this way, but you see them walking around with this thing that's super rare. I think that would just be a great way to evolve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they need
wow, we
to-
sure got off the twab, didn't we?
We did, yes. But I just want to highlight
I don't care.
Fallout just dropped out again. There we go. Fallout's back.
Why?
He's
does
out.
This happen?
I don't know.
You know what?
man.
It's better than your mic cutting out. We can still hear you.
I just want to
Apparently
highlight.
my mic's good.
I want to highlight the fact
I don't know what's
that
going on.
the thing that we're really highlighting though is that it's the in between stuff. It's not. There is long tail chases in there in the game right now.
Yeah.
They definitely exist.
Yeah, they
but
have
it's,
some.
It's the stuff in between that is essentially a wasteland. There's nothing there for, like I said, when you go into comp after you hit 2100, that climb to 5500 is non-existent for rewards, and that's why a lot of people are like, "Well, I don't care. I already got a not forgotten. Not getting anything else in there for this season. So why would I stay?
You
on
don't
that
get.
playlist?"
You don't need to. Let's be honest. You don't need to get any other gun.
Yeah.
What you have not forgotten, you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, there's certain guns that they've kind of broke PvP with, and I know that I'm not. That's like not a very popular opinion to have, but because it just kills the variety within the game, and so like every sweaty player you see out there is going to be running Deathstroke Blues, Not Forgotten,
Right.
and Word of Coil, and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
Meta's one thing, Pope.
Super
for
mutts.
But like the population is suffering heavily because the desire to get those in between rewards. Or, I mean, there are no in between
right,
rewards.
I understand.
And that's why that, like, I think a lot more people would at least just play it if there was
I
those
agree.
things to get each season. And it's not there right now after you get your recluse. So,
Yep.
Right.
But we need more.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
Like,
More
I think
of
that-
everything.
yeah, but like meaning like on let's call it the Fallout level. You want some really, really rare stuff. Yeah, like really rare stuff, which I think is needed and maybe is not even done that in the game. But the titles they're there. But vanity items, boom, that would be amazing, right? People walk around. But again, I still reflect on getting some of the stuff out of the raids and like just some pure vanity stuff. Like I'm thinking about how few people have ultimately done Scourge. Like, obviously, if you're in this season, you've done it, but if you've done it a certain amount of times, if there was a hard mode or whatever, that you should be able to walk away with something that can really show off that you were there and got it done. And like, meaning armor sets aren't enough for me. I want something else I can show off.
Yeah. The armor sets don't have the same pizzazz, or
maybe it's not even.
They're not even. They don't look as notable as they did in Destiny 1.
Yeah, things changed. Things changed when you knew your loot was going away.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
that is true. The motivation is less if you know that in a year you'll be like, well, I'm just going to start from scratch anyway.
Guys, we better finish that TWAB because we're already an hour 44.
We're only on page 215.
Not that impressive.
Let's just skip the whole section on Warlocks, right?
Hey, oh god dang, Pope. Unreal. The disrespect.
Stormcaller, the Super Trance Super top and bottom path is getting a damage scaling update. So it scales up to 150% over 5 seconds of continuous use. And they're going to update the FX as well.
They had the audio to support. That sounds cool. That got me thinking about how Cold Heart goes, and it sounds like they're going to maybe give it this like rise tide kind of sound. And
I like that idea.
Love it.
So damage scales up. I'm trying to remember, what is that saying exactly? Damage scales up to 150%. What is it already? Is it just 100 now?
100, yeah.
It's at 100 now. So it's saying it goes
yeah.
up another. So maybe it does 10% more each one of those 5 seconds or something. I don't know. I'm making that part up, but maybe it's boom, 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 and you get to that top. But that sounds fun. That's the only update on that one.
Yeah. The attunement of conduction, the chain lightning melee can now chain up to 5 times, up from 1, and each individual target can be hit twice.
Yeah.
Chain damage decreased from 50 to 31 damage per chain hit. Arc Web can now chain to many more targets, many more targets, and back and forth between targets. The amount of chaining varies based on use, and I will leave it to you all to discover. Increase the chain range from 10 meters to 12 meters. Chain arc damage now reduces the cooldown of your grenade. Works with arc web chains and chains from... Jesus Christ.
You got it.
Chain web is getting better.
He's trying. You were only at 2 more bullet points, man. Earn 3% energy.
Chain web. It's getting better. That's the takeaway. Yeah.
Chain web getting better.
The end of the TWAB. All right, this is making the lightning chain better. Come on, scroll down.
Yeah. We're done. We're still on Warlocks though.
Yeah.
That was
the Stormcaller attunement of the elements. The bottom path. Electrostatic surge, increased bonus regeneration rate of Rift by 600% per nearby friendly guardian. That's big. That's a huge bonus.
That is.
It sounds insane.
And it's a big boost, and you'll definitely feel it, but it was previously very low. Extend Rift duration from 15 to 20 seconds, and added a UI notification for when the buff is active. Arc Soul, extended duration by 50%. Arc Buddy, more Arc Buddy.
Yeah, Arc Buddy.
Yeah, Arc Buddy. So are you guys seeing Arc Buddy in PvP right now?
No. I see him around every once in a while.
Occasionally, but not really. No.
Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen
the new exotic one where you you eat the grenade ability and you summon like the hyper on crack Arc Buddy. That's really fun.
Cracked out Buddy.
Yeah, crack Buddy.
Crack Buddy.
New and improved Crack Buddy.
Jeez. I will
bath
eat your
salts,
face
buddy.
off. Bath salts, buddy.
The Voidwalker Nova Warp Super reduced initial charge detonation energy cost by 20%. Reduced energy cost of holding the charge detonation by 7%. Reduced time required to fully charge the charge detonation from 0.9 seconds to 0.7 seconds. Reduced dark blink cost by 20%. Increase base super duration from 18 to 22 seconds.
It's a 4-second increase. I don't know
why
they
walking back some of the changes they made last time.
You got to read the notes in this one. You just have to. It's a good laugh.
Or you could just read them and instead of telling me.
Clearly, we swung a bit hard when we hit this previously. This should serve as a nice middle ground to settle into.
This is going to make everybody who loved the Nova Warp and felt the sting of that nerf kind of chuckle a little bit. Clearly, we swung a bit hard when we hit this previously. They made it from like completely overpowered to just
that thing disappeared,
like completely
overnight.
neutered. Yeah, but yeah.
Dawnblade Everlasting Fire perk. Tune the amount of super gain from Everlasting Fire. Initial return increased from 10 to 13% super energy. Return then decays linearly over the course of 30 kills. From 13 to 0.75% return per kill. So the more people you kill, the less super you get back for.
Diminishing returns.
Yeah. But you get more at first. Okay. Catalysts are coming back.
Well, Briar, what about the nerf to Spectral Blades?
Yeah, what about Spectral?
You may be asking.
That nerf, though.
What about it?
Well, we know
that's actually what they said in the episode.
But Bungie knows that it's out of bounds currently. They're acknowledging that Spectral Blades may be a little bit powerful right now, maybe a little hot. They're working right now on a few tweaks to bring it back in line. We'll let you know the details once we've finished playtesting and tuning to lock in on what changes will be. Now, given their turnaround time, knowing turnaround time for classes, what are we looking at here, Tefty?
I think we can see like an early nerf 2020, right? That should be
2021.
I think we get notes about it, maybe like the end of 2019 about that. Yeah, those changes.
Yeah.
It is telling that they have this huge subclass update, and that one clearly, which they agree, they swung too hard. But they couldn't get it ready for this update. It just really tells you either the infrastructure to make these changes, which we see always seems to take a while. There's so much testing and vetting and data, or who knows, maybe some of the recent departures and some of the shifting that they're doing to prepare is it makes all these changes kind of challenging. Some of these other changes may have been in the making for a long time, and Spectral Blades, well, that only changed, was that the beginning of this season? Or no?
Spectral?
I can't remember. Yeah, when they brought it, I can't remember. No, it's been a while.
Like it was a week before,
Yeah,
something like that.
Okay, but it's not been that long ultimately, and so now they're reacting to that still. And
so Spectral Blades really is like about the other classes that challenged it being nerfed. So then it's leaving Spectral Blades in a place where it can just dominate. So to me, it was seen as taking away some of the elements of other weapons that could and classes that could counter it, and allowing it to reign supreme.
What you said, Fran, though, is interesting because it does kind of indicate the lead time of these patches, right? It's like if
exactly
they didn't start this patch like after the Spectral Blades were known, they started it before that.
Yeah,
possibly while they were still working on the last patch.
Yep.
Yeah, possibly because. Yeah, I mean, otherwise, why wouldn't they have been prepared? Yeah. So, I think just the time to test them. They do look at a lot of data as well. I love it. Mike Wizendest, I need it.
In all likelihood, it's probably going to be a June, July update
with Opulence. I agree with you.
Yeah, once Opulence hits, they're going to be like, we're finally nerfing Spectral Blades. They've been running around a little too swipey. Going to be fixing that.
Too swipey.
A little too much swipey swipe going on in there. Dialed that back.
That was an actual
swiping happening.
Tefty managed to get an internal email, Bungie, that was subject swipey.
How did Tim know about the swipe? The swipey.
Dylan, if you're listening, write that down. Oh, a little too swipey. That's good.
Swipey.
Yeah, there we go.
Swipey. Swipey, no swiping.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting that change in summer.
It is unfortunate though, because and I don't play nearly as much as you guys, especially Fallout. You could probably chime in this too, but like when I go into comp and I use Hunter Spectral Blades, of course, when I go in there's a lot of happening, aren't there? Like there's a lot, right?
Okay.
Supermod Spectral Blade Quizzing.
So again, I can only speak to the console
PS4
side, which is good for me because I think the majority of the community plays collectively on console, but so I don't know what's going on in the PC land of comp, but console comp, every game, every
There's a lot.
It's like, oh, good. 4 spectral blades.
Yeah,
okay,
it's
cool.
not that different. I mean,
they all have on 5 super mods. Yeah, glad that hasn't been addressed yet. That's super cool.
Yeah.
And look, that's you have to do it. And
now here's the problem.
pudding. I play comp as a spectral blade hunter with 5 super mods.
Yeah,
but
all this time you've been out here repping Warlock
because if you
comes out finally.
You have to. I love being a Warlock, but if you go into comp and you're not a spectral blade with 5 super mods, you are directly putting yourself at
being
a
a Warlock. I'm just afraid to do it in public.
Right. Wait, Pope, what did you say?
So I think part of the problem here is not so much that Spectral Blades is too OP or that Nova Warp was too OP or any of this stuff. Honestly, I really truly believe that the real challenge here is that the game has limited the amount of counters, skill-based counters to supers. So when you see a super enacted, most of them, 99% of them, your only recourse is to put your head kiss your own ass goodbye.
Unless you have the counter.
You just basically put on a move. You know, you're like jump off the map or run the other direction. You know, you're basically grabbing your ankles and saying, "Please, yes."
Seems like a holdout of Destiny 2 vanilla, right? It's like when they wanted the game to be more casual friendly. That's one of the changes they made. They didn't want people sniping you out of your super because they wanted your super to make you feel powerful.
Briar, you're right. It's the power fantasy, which is why they did it.
You have to that's okay because the people that were complaining about it are not going to be playing the players that can do the shit.
Right.
All right. So if you've got a quickscope sniper or some power move that will allow you to kill somebody out of a super, and the way that the matchmaking, they'll never play them. Maybe every randomly someone will get that sick sniper headshot that will take you out of your spectral blade as you're hippity hopping all over the place, completely invisible off the radar, just slicing my ass open.
Remember back in D1, it was very.
Wait,
you just stop in mid-rant.
He's mid-rant. He's got his hands up.
Okay. If your hands are still up, okay.
No, it's all right. Keep going. Fallout. You're done.
Oh, okay. I don't respond to guilt trips, so I'm going to keep going. Yeah, remember in D1, you could get killed out of a super if the other player played it well. You know, they called it babying. I got babied out of my super. That happened all the time. You get sniped out of the super, shotgun meleeed with the right shotgun at the right range. But in D2, like Pope is saying, it's right. There's not enough to counter someone on a tear with a good roaming super. And that's why Spectral Blade is so rampant on comp right now, because the damage reduction, I can give you a full blast in the face with a shotgun and follow up with a melee. It's not going to kill you. You're going to kill me. So it's very difficult. You have to be really on target with your team shot.
As a matter of fact, not only are you going to kill me, but you're going to kill me and all the health and an overshield you're going to get from killing me.
That's the problem.
Make you, it's going to make you even more powerful for the next engagement where that guy for sure is not going to be able to kill you.
That's the problem. The duration and those perks. So
it's a combination.
When you see it, but it's not the only super in the game that you can't like.
No, it's not the only super.
Right.
That's why when you go into comp, the main strategy in comp right now, from what I've seen, is to stack super mods, because it's a problem because the damage reduction,
multi-kill,
it's roaming supers are very difficult to deal with, and that's why they're the best chance of you winning. So people put on the 5 super mods because there's no diminishing returns. You can put on all 5 and you get the benefit from having all 5, and that's what it is right now.
Yeah.
There needs to be more in
it's
place.
A why wouldn't you type of situation. Why would you not?
But meaning, ultimately, if they just fixed Spectral Blades to not have as long duration and you nailed it when you said they did a lot of this stuff because the power fantasy was missing, and we went through this with a lot of exotics where it's like in Destiny 2 year 1 we're like, I don't know, I guess it's an exotic, and then they had to fix all that up and make sure it had the power fantasy. So that part of you is like, whoa, this is so cool, but you look at something like Spectral Blades, it was already good. I don't know what happened on that one. When I remember when they came out with the patch, I was like, wait, are you kidding me? Is that right? You're kidding? I was like, boom. And then, I loaded up Gwizinvest, all super. And oh my God, I couldn't believe, I literally thought it was busted that week and that they were going to hot fix it out. because it was so crazy to me.
To talk about the power fantasy, because when I bring up, I rant a lot on Twitter, and I'm like, please nerf the super mods in PvP, because people like to have them for PvE. I don't want to take that away from them, but please also for PvP, because it's all you see. There's no variety. But then people are like, oh, Fallout, is that really what you want? Because don't you remember year one? You want to go back to vanilla? It's like, no, because there were many differences, but other than the power fantasy of being able to tear through people with your super. A lot of people didn't like year one.
People sitting in the back with scories.
Good lord. That's what that's the new supermod stack. People didn't like year one because it was too vanilla, especially with the weapon selection, where you had 2 primary weapons, 1 power. We missed the power fantasy of having that one-hit kill fusion. God, man. Sniper, shotgun, you know what I mean? So we have that now, which is fantastic. But like there's no, if you look in the comp armor loadout, there's no variety, which is like really hurting the gameplay, I think.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to choose to do a very slow reload, low clip count, hard to ADS, heavy sniper on your team that could possibly snipe with a skilled player, snipe somebody out of their super, I feel like that is just as reward heavy quality of a choice decision for that person to load that gun and make that play as a high risk, high reward as anything. And it's just making it, it's when the problem comes in is when they make it too easy to do that. It has to be a skill-based play. You got to be able to go, somebody has to be able to look at the camera or scream into their mic, I did it, that's the moment, right? But there is no moment to that. Like your entire team needs to look at that person in that moment, coming around the corner, swippity swiping, swiper, no swiping. And you're like, they all need to shoot their, they all need to shoot their collective, like, asses off, or you need to match them with the super to kill it. And it's like super versus super, I get that. Super versus super, I get it. But
that's usually your only option, to your point. That's usually
so for a comp player like Fallout, I'm never going to hit that shot, right? I'm going to turn around and run because I'm a scared. Never mind.
You got to watch that KD.
I'm not going to, I'm looking after my PvE KD, or PvP. So I run the other way, but who's going to engage that player with the super? Player that has skill and has the ability to make the play. Cool.
Yeah. You're dead on.
Or blade barrage.
I agree 100%.
Knock them down. But what I was going to go back to was when I went to start playing Destiny 1 Trials, I just really sucked. I was not playing a lot of PvP, and somebody decided to start carrying me through. But I learned so much about playing, and when I learned to stand my ground when an arc blade started coming at me, and I had a hand cannon and a shotgun, and when I learned to be able to not be scared and do it, that was such a nice reward, because you could get through it with some good shots, by the way. You couldn't just do it every time. And that is, I feel like we all agree on that. That's kind of what's missing right now. I don't feel like I'm like, all right, I'm good enough that you can try that crap, but it's not going to work. Mm-hmm. If you're good enough, because even if you are good enough, that Spectral Blades and other ones, they're just going to chop right through you.
You'll just watch a player like you'll watch streamers playing or whatever, but you can be playing yourself, or you hear somebody on your team and they're like, they're kind of in the back of their head. They kind of like look to the way and go, oh, they pop their super. You could be on a tear, right? You're like doing your thing. You're like getting plays, and then someone pops their super and smokes you, and you're like, oh, yeah, the super. It's like, that's it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to change the subject so we can move on a little bit. Catalyst.
Good job.
Catalysts are coming back. The Prospector, the Rat King, and the Hardlight are all getting catalysts from Nightfalls and Strikes, and the Soros regime is getting a catalyst from the Crucible.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited about Hardlight.
Yeah.
Hardlight. I don't know. Soros. I like Soros again too. Like I don't
Soros is great. Especially for Crucible. That's what's cool, is it's coming out of Crucible. It'd probably be good for Crucible. I don't know, if we want to speculate what these might be like.
Oh, do you know what the Hardlight
to see what they do with the Rat King?
Do we know already?
Wait, Fallout.
Do you shoot, once you activate the catalysts, you shoot
we
the
already know what
Hardlight,
they are?
and the color of the gun, it turns into a strobe light, and then it plays Darude Sandstorm while you shoot it.
Yes. Thank you. That was a good payoff, because at first I was like, this is going to be dumb. Oh, it was awesome.
It's going to
awesomely
be done
done.
PvP for sure.
I love it. That would be amazing.
That'll
and
get
everybody
those
just starts
Spectral
dancing.
Blades.
Hit him with a dance party. But I'm excited about it.
I'm happy that they're finally talking about putting catalysts into the game. New ones, things that we've heard about, and we're like, what about these catalysts, man? We've like completely forgotten about them. They're really cool progressions that you added to your exotics, and it's actually a year later when they first introduced them, and they're now following form and putting those things in the game for things to chase after.
Stuff kind of like disappears and comes back, isn't it? It's
right?
Like, why aren't there catalysts like all the whole time? But
yeah,
Rat King, I'm excited for Rat King because Rat King is one of my kind of like low tier favorite guns, and I'm looking forward to what they add to that.
I like the team component to that, like the trolling aspect of it.
Yeah. It's a good time.
Hey, let's all run strikes and run Rat Kings, like
yeah.
The choices.
Go ahead, Frank.
Oh, it was just finishing the catalyst point. I will still say that like there's a lot of guns in the game. So I don't know that the choices are still interesting. Like, do we really need Prospector and Rat King Catalyst versus there's a lot of other cool like Izanagi, like new exotics and stuff.
They did that because they don't want those to be the only catalysts that you go after, and then you forget about these others. I think they put these in the game first because they're like, hey, these are like, not really pulled up that often. So let's give them a catalyst and see how it responds.
Give them a bump. But but like, why not catalyst for stuff that you use a lot that just doesn't have a catalyst yet? Versus you might have to wait another year.
They're going to put those in. Well, I think they're going to put them in the summer. I think the summer update is going to be a bunch of catalysts that they put in to chase after.
Opulence. Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
That's a good call. Okay. It's season of the catalyst is what you're saying.
And secrets and probably a few exotics, but like some of these chases, the game really lacks horizontal progression. And catalysts provide a little bit of that. So
just occurred to me.
That's why they're they're trickling the stuff into the game as players have like exhausted most of the options.
Yeah. Hawkmoon Catalyst. That's what's that's the icing on that cake we were searching for.
That's the Spirit Hawk.
That's it.
The Spirit Hawk comes down, grabs him from the sky.
I love it.
The update comes on, April 9th. So next Tuesday. Update 2.2.1 at 9 p.m. Pacific time.